All right. Hoping this is going to work. If it doesn't, that is not good. Yo, I'm hoping people actually hear me. What's good? What's good? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's it going, guys? What's good? What's good? I'm hoping that some people who are in here are people that usually disagree with me so we can have some conversations. Some good old hockey conversations. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about some stuff. I'm not interested in Raquel just because of apparently the value that the Ducks are looking for him. Oh yeah, that's true. I wonder, was that the last time I streamed was when the Campbell trade happened? Yo, Nevin, thanks for remembering that. That's hilarious. I forgot about that. Um, yeah, I just posted a video at 5 o'clock, so just an hour ago, talking about options that the Leafs could get on the blue line. I'm with you guys. I think that they should get another defenseman, honestly. Yeah, I did stuff on Instagram, but I don't remember the last time I did one on this hockey channel. Yeah, Simmons is playing tonight. I mean, Patrick Kane's been in the league longer than Matthews. You know, Matthews has been playing really well, so Kane's been fantastic this year as well. He's having like an MVP season, so I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of those guys. Our most pressing need is goaltending. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, the blue line, like the blue line's actually pretty good. It's pretty good, but not great. The Freddie Anderson has not been good. Like, Freddie Anderson has not been good. Um, like I like Frederick Anderson, but I don't like how he's playing. They need reliable goaltending to go anywhere. You can't win with bad goaltending. And people are saying, yeah, like he's playing with an injury. Guys, he's been bad for over a year now. Like it's been way too long. I would love for you guys to go and watch Downtown Stephen Brown's video about Anderson because he was stating a lot of numbers that shows that Freddie is like a below average goaltender for like the past year. But, you know, Leaf fans ignore it. I love him. I love the guy. And I think that they ran him into the ground. Like, don't get me wrong. Freddie literally was the only reason the Leafs were good for the first year that they were in playoff contention. Like, they ran him into the ground. He played way too much. He had no backup. So now he's not good because he got ran into the ground, honestly. Like, yeah, Justin Hall hasn't been playing that well lately, but it's okay. Everybody has a little bit of a bump. I think that if the Leafs get another defenseman, then it'll help the depth. Like it'll help Justin Hall, it'll help Dermott, it'll help those guys for sure. Like in a perfect world, the Leafs get another defenseman and another forward, and I honestly think they're going to do it. People don't look at the numbers in terms of a trade, but it's very possible. Like they actually can with retained salary and stuff. Like they definitely can make a move. I like Lehtinen as well, but the fit wasn't there for the Leafs, I guess. Would you rather have Ekholm or Savard? I would want Ekholm, but I think that you're probably good with Savard too. If I'm the Leafs, like I do look at Jonathan Bernier if you can make that move. But I think if you can get a forward and you can get a defenseman, you're just going with Campbell and Freddie and hoping that it works. No, guys, please stop reading the media. Please, please. Ekholm will not take a Robertson or a Sandin. They are saying that Nashville is looking for a Jake Muzzin type package. Remember what the Leafs gave up? Grundstrom and Durzi. Are those guys top prospects? I'm going to wait. Please answer that question. Are those guys top prospects? Grundstrom and Durzi. And we also gave up a first-round pick. Are those guys, Grundstrom and Durzi, did that hurt the Leafs? Now, for Ekholm, you might have to give up maybe a Philip Hallander, right? A first-round pick, and then a B-level prospect. So you don't have to trade a Liljegren, a Namirov, a Robertson, a Sandin, any of those guys. And let me just tell you, and I'm going to be the first to say it, Morgan Riley is traded in the offseason. They are going to, he's out. They're not going to be able to afford him long term. It's either Riley or Freddie. One of them's gone, and I think it could be both. Don't quote me. Actually, you can quote me on that if you want. But I guarantee it. One of those guys is gone for sure in the offseason, maybe both. Because Riley is asset management. Well, if you trade for Ekholm, you have him for another year, then you can trade Morgan Riley for a different player. Like, you have to remember the Leafs, like, let's just say hypothetically, the Leafs trade for Ekholm, right? Next year, you go Ekholm, Brody, Muzzin, Hall, and then Dermott and whoever else. Like Rasmus Sandin, Timothy Liljegren, like those guys are ready. It's asset management. But let's not worry about the offseason. I've said it a million times about Tyson Barrie. Everybody hated me for defending that trade. Mike Babcock is the reason Tyson Barrie sucked in Toronto. Like 1,000,000%. Go back and watch the entire storyline of what happened there. They traded Nazem Kadri, who was my favorite player, by the way. They traded Nazem Kadri for Barrie and Kerfoot. That trade on paper was fine. What else were you supposed to do? Kadri got suspended 2 years in a row in the playoffs. He wasn't doing anything for us. Like, you can't win if he's not playing. I love Kadri, but he kept getting suspended. I love the guy. Literally still one of my favorite players in the entire league. That guy is a tank. He scores, he hits, he fights, he does everything. But the Leafs needed to move on from that situation because he wasn't listening, I guess. And you guys are funny. But anyways, when Barrie came to Toronto, Mike Babcock took him, an offensive juggernaut defenseman, and said, now you have to be a defensive defenseman and play tough minutes against top pairings. That does not make any sense. Guys, it's like telling Mitch Marner, you're no longer a goal scorer or a playmaker. You're none of that. You're going to fight and you're going to block shots because that's your role now, because that's what I said. And that's what Babcock did with Tyson Barrie. Oh, you're an offensive defenseman? Oh, no, not anymore. You're a defensive defenseman. That's what he did. And it didn't work. Then Sheldon Keefe comes in, and Barrie was on like a 50-point pace if he played a full season under Sheldon Keefe. It was not hard to look at. Is Barry the best fit for Toronto? No, he wasn't. He's an offensive guy, and we didn't need offense. But at least let him do what he's worth. He didn't do anything for us because Babcock didn't let him. It did not make sense to me. Look at what Babcock said when we acquired Jake Muzzin. Oh, he's left-handed, so it's not really what we needed, but it's fine. You know what I mean? And Justin Hall, he sat Justin Hall in the press box for like 60 games in a row. We could have used him. You know what I mean? And by the way, no, we don't need Taylor Hall. We definitely don't need him. You can get a player that'll cost you less money that will do the same thing. But if the Leafs wanted to try it and Buffalo was retaining half, it's tempting. Yes, and see, Matthew, the main problem is that they need to be able to play defense and hold a lead. And it's something that I definitely agree with what downtown Stephen Brown was saying. If you get another really good defensive defenseman, and let's say the Leafs are up 2-0 in a playoff game. Let's say it's Savard, just for the sake of it. Let's say the Leafs pick up Savard. Now, instead of having Morgan Riley with TJ Brody, you put Savard with him, and then you have Hall and Muzzin. So you have two shutdown pairings, and then you can play Dermott and Riley together for the offense. So you're playing more of a structured defensive game. They need another defensive defenseman style guy. And I think that they're going to get one. I really, really do. I made a trade today, a hypothetical trade on Cap Friendly. Hold on, guys. I made a hypothetical trade with Nashville. And I don't know if it's an overpayment, but I was going to make a video on it. Topi Namella, Philip Hallander, so 2 prospects, and a first-round pick would be included. So you're giving up 2 pretty good prospects, and it would be Matthias Ekholm at half of his salary retained. Then Kerfoot and a second-round pick would also be involved in the deal to acquire Mikael Granlund at half the price. So you're giving Nashville a guy that they can use for a few years, and you're giving them futures and picks. You might even not have to spend that second. It might be like a third or a fourth. But you're giving up 2 prospects, 2 picks, and a roster player for 2 players, and you have to pay more because they're retaining salary. And both of those guys would fit in under the salary cap for the Leafs. That trade would make sense. I'd rather them keep Kerfoot as well, but it's not going to happen. So it would be like Thornton, Matthews, Marner, Granlund, Tavares, Nylander, Mikheyev, Galchenyuk, Hyman, Spezza, Engvall, Simmons. And then Riley, Brody, Muzzin, Hall, Ekholm, Dermott, but you mix all that around. And no, we wouldn't trade Jake Muzzin. That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, but the first round pick holds value to people who have good scouting departments. If you don't have a good scouting department, then it won't have the same value. But you have to remember this year it could also be lottery tickets. Because if you have more picks, you have a better chance to pick up good players. I mean, that's just how it works. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't want Muzzin. Nobody, like, I'm not saying that. The Leafs are not trading Muzzin. I think we're gonna get a defenseman and a forward, and I honestly think that a trade like the one I just said is very possible. Yeah, and I do think Hyman resigns because in the offseason, Freddie is not staying. They can't afford him. And this is why I'm saying if you make a trade like this, then in the offseason, Morgan Riley also becomes expendable. Because then you trade him for a king's ransom. Oh, and by the way, Mark Stahl, not a chance. If the Leafs pick up Mark Stahl, I'll be pissed. I'm not going to lie. That guy's garbage. And I try not to be so rude, but like that guy is not good. Hyman's contract is going to be around $4 million a season, I think. It depends on the term, though. It could be just under 4, but I think it's going to be around 4. Yeah, I'd rather have Galchenyuk on the wing as well, but, I mean, you can mix around the lineup if you do what I was just saying there. You can have Engvall at that center position and slide Galchenyuk to the 4th line on the wing and put Spezza in the middle. Foligno is not as good as people are giving him credit for, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's the type of forward the Leafs could use, but he's really expensive. Even at half retained, I think that's pretty expensive. Um, I've heard different about Kyle Palmieri because they're saying that, like, they don't know if he's gonna sign an extension. Iafallo would be a good one. Morgan Morgan Hallander first to Nashville. No, I don't think they're gonna trade Riley now. This is what I've also tried to, explain in my videos. When you're going all in, you don't need to trade roster pieces that are gonna make you better. Like, people are like, "Oh, let's trade Nylander for, Philip Forsberg and whoever else," right? But, how much better do you get if you like, Forsberg is better than Nylander, not by a lot, but he is, right? But how much better are you getting if you trade a great player like Nylander and then just replace him with a guy a little bit better? That's not putting you over the top. That's just replacing him with a better version of him. Like, it doesn't make you go over the top. The whole point is to have that huge structure, that great team, and then get a guy that puts you over the top. That doesn't make any sense to me. That why you would wanna trade somebody who is in your top 6, putting up points, and the whole point of getting guys is to fill in the holes. Um, Miles Wood, yeah, I mean, that would be a good move. David Savard and Boone Jenner. I don't know about Boone Jenner, I mean, definitely David Savard, but Bobby Ryan, that like, to me, Bobby Ryan is just, like, I love the guy, I think he's fantastic, and I love his story, but the Leafs don't need another 3rd liner. They need a guy that's gonna come in and make an actual, like, real big impact. They need somebody that's gonna come in and actually do something. Yeah, Iafallo is one of the guys I would definitely have high up on the list, but you gotta remember, like, some of these teams have to wanna trade these guys. Allmark, yeah, but he's hurt, that's the problem. Yeah, Woods, it could be like a Coleman for the Leafs, what he did for Tampa. Raquel, no, Raquel is gonna cost them too much. From Anaheim apparently wants, like, the sun and the moon for this guy. The Leafs can acquire 2 players for the same amount that they want for Raquel. The most realistic guy is not Forsberg, Hall, or Raquel. Oh, okay, but you're saying who's the most, like, dreamy type of player? I think Forsberg, if I was to make any, assumption, I guess. Merzlikins, I don't think that they're gonna move him. I don't honestly, I don't think Robertson is a trade piece at all for the Leafs. I think Robertson is guaranteed a chance on this team this year or next year. There's certain guys where you go, "Oh, this guy's really good. We can't give up on him." Especially if teams are wanting guys like decent prospects to good prospects for Ekholm. Like, there's no reason to trade a top prospect when you don't need to. Hallander is a guy that I think could get traded. Same thing with like Namella. I think you're looking at guys that are going to be good NHLers, but like, I don't know. And guys, don't give up on Timothy Liljegren. Let me tell you, I've talked to some people that watch him play all the time. He is so freaking underrated. They have been working with him for his two-way game, and I think I said it in the video today or like yesterday. When I first seen Timothy Liljegren live, when he first came to the Leafs organization, I was like, this guy sucks because the way that he played, I didn't like it. But then I watched how he played over time, and I asked the people that actually watch the Marlies consistently, and I'm telling you right now, they have turned him into a two-way defenseman. He is going to be so good. I honestly, I think he's gonna be in their top 4 next year. I think he could be in their top 4. He's not garbage. I seen somebody's comment says he's garbage. Like, guys, you have to understand. I've talked to people that watch him consistently, and they're saying that he is so underrated. Like, people don't understand how good this guy is. Love the channel. Great job. Jukes, thank you so much. Yeah, solid. I would think a solid top 4 guy is definitely essential. And by the way, Foligno coming to Toronto in their top 6 or even their 3rd line, I'd be definitely I'd be okay. If you have to trade a top prospect, I don't I guess Liljegren would have to be the guy if I'm deciding between Sandin, Robertson, and Liljegren, but guys, like, I don't wanna trade any of those guys, but if you had to, yeah, I guess Liljegren out of the 3. Yeah. Who other than Ekholm would you go after? I think I like the Ekholm, I think I like the Ekholm Granlund idea if you wanna make it a pretty big trade, but, like I said, like, I'd be okay. Oh, Amirov too as a prospect, I don't know. Forsberg and Ekholm for a Kerfoot, Liljegren, and a first. Like, I don't even know if that trade I don't think that would be like, I don't think Nashville says yes to that. Even though that's, like, a pretty heavy package, but, like, the Leafs are gonna lose probably a decent prospect that people like, but the fact of the matter is you can't and this is what I was explaining on Twitter earlier, you can't expect to get something good without giving something good in return. Like, you have to give to get. You can't just expect to win a trade and not give them anything. Who would you want in the first round? Honestly, like, I don't wanna see Winnipeg in the first round. That team is tough. They're a good hockey team. Um, I think the Leafs could probably take out Edmonton, but dude, if Draisaitl and McDavid, like, oh boy. Yeah, you have to do what it takes, but Dubas has been very clear that he will not overpay, like, to the point where it looks like where it looks like it's almost crazy. Like, he's not gonna do that. Honestly, if Tyler Bertuzzi wasn't injured, like, I would definitely take a look at him in Detroit. Apparently, he might be available. That guy's gritty. He puts up points. He's quick. It'd be, pretty nice. I mentioned on one of John's hot take hockey streams that a three-way trade between Buffalo, Calgary, and Toronto might be interesting. Are you joking, man? There's no way that trade would ever happen. Eichel, Kachuk, Marner. There's not a chance that'll ever happen. No offense, it just won't happen. Yep, I'm gonna be watching the game. Goalies for the Leafs, man. Honestly, it just depends on what they think on the health of Freddie Anderson and Campbell because they would have to move out salary to get somebody in. Oh, the Leafs are making the playoffs. Guys, we're in first place right now. I'm not saying they're going to be first the whole time, but let's not say that they're not going to make the playoffs. I think Bertuzzi's cap hit is like 3.75 or something like that. Let me see. I think his cap hit's just under 4. And actually, fun fact about Tyler Bertuzzi. Um, I was in a class with him. Like, he went to the same high school as me, which is crazy. Um, yeah, we were in the same class. Um, what's his cap hit? Yeah, it was pretty cool. Okay, so Bertuzzi's cap hit is 3.5. So if you got them to retain some salary, you could definitely make that trade happen. But the problem is like I don't think Detroit's ready to give up on him, and he also has back problems. So I don't know if it's gonna work. Okay, this is something I keep saying is that the North Division is the weakest division. So then when anybody talks about McDavid's points, then it shouldn't be talked about then because people are like, "Oh, McDavid is having an amazing season, this, that, and the other." If the division sucks, then McDavid's points mean nothing. Like it's only when the Leafs do well that everybody thinks that it sucks. If the Leafs were in last place, people would be like, "Oh, this is such a strong division. All these Canadian teams. Look at where the Leafs are." Blah. Like, it's the same crap every year. Like, let's be honest. The Leafs aren't doing well. What do you mean? They're doing fantastic this season. They hit a bit of a bump, man. Like they aren't gonna just win every game. Yeah, McDavid torched the league the last 5 years. I mean, the Leafs have made the playoffs. And like they played against those teams too. Like it doesn't matter. Plus, like look at Matthews too. People are like, oh, he's scoring all these goals because he's in this division, bro. He's been doing that for so many years as well. Like the last what 2 or 3 years at least. Like it doesn't matter. The division is weak if the Leafs are doing well. That's how the narrative is. Okay, JD Power. It doesn't matter if they've never won in the playoffs. There's teams that have never won the Stanley Cup. Like, people are talking about, like, things that happened, like, 25 years ago for their favorite team. It's like, "Bro, like, get over it." Some of these people weren't even alive when this stuff happened. Like, people are, like, 2 years old when some of this stuff happened and go, "Yeah, man, but my team did this." Come on, like, these people don't even remember. Like, don't talk about the good old days when you were 2 years old. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, the Leafs haven't had playoff success lately. That's clear as day, but you gotta stay positive. Who's losing money? Who's losing money? Yeah, North Division has Hellebuck, Price, Markstrom, Demko. Like, those are pretty solid goaltenders, man. I mean, Price has had his ups and downs, but still. Like, Hellebuck, like, what's up, man? Yo, what's good? It's been a while. Leafs are losing a lot of cap. Not what do you mean? Who's losing a lot of cap? Every team, what? They're losing a lot of cap. What do you mean they're losing a lot of cap? I think Hyman's contract's probably gonna be probably just under 4 million or 4 million. So I'm reading some of these comments, and I like some people are like breaking up their comments into different things, and I'm like missing pieces of it. They cannot get expensive players. Yeah, they can. They can. There's prorated stuff towards the NHL trade deadline, and they can trade out money and they can bring in money. They can have retained salary. They can have 3-team trades. Don't worry, they're going to be able to do it. They're fine. Salary retention will happen. Look, Benjamin's got it right. Retention, man. Why is Dubas always buying cheap players? Bro, he signed 4 players to like $40 million. He couldn't get Petrang. Okay, this has got to be a please, like, this is troll, right? Like, are you trolling me right now? Noah, thank you so much. Okay, because Petrangelo was out of their price range. Peter Parker, man, honestly, like, I appreciate it, and I was just answering your question, but I think you should stick to being good old Spider-Man. I don't think Pietrangelo didn't wanna play for the Leafs. I think that if they had the money, he probably would've done it. I think if the Leafs met the Bruins in the conference finals, they could beat them. Yeah, it would be interesting. Yeah, the spidey senses are off. Yeah, the Leafs do need a goalie, honestly. And again, I love Freddie Anderson, but oh, John, Jesus. Thank you so much. You did not have to do that. I appreciate the 13.99 donation. Thank you so much. John, appreciate you. If you have a question, I'll try to answer it the next time you have a question there. Thank you so much for the donation. I've been trying to read through everybody's questions. I apologize if I'm not getting to it. But John, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Gotta love the ignorance. What do you mean? Are you talking about me? What the hell did I do? Do you think, excuse me, Anderson plus is a first is enough for Kemper? Probably not. Maybe, but I don't think they're interested. Like Arizona would be interested in getting rid of him. I think Ranta would be a good pickup for the Leafs, and I do think that you would have a chance to make that deal go through. Okay, Christopher, I was really confused there. Gibson hasn't been good for a couple years, in my opinion. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I don't know. I know he's not playing on a good team, but dude, his numbers are not good. Galchenyuk, I think, is going to fit pretty well, but he's got to have the confidence. If he doesn't have that confidence, then it's not going to work. I think it was all about confidence, and I think that's why Dubas let him go and work with Barb Underhill. I think he wanted him to tear it up with the Marlies and then come up here with a bit more confidence. They wanted to work on his mental health, which is something that gets ignored by a lot of people. Doc, it's been a while, man. How are you? Bye-bye, Dubas. Gone after this year. Well, Jordan, I'm sorry, but I don't think you're correct. Yeah, Galchenyuk was doing really well with the Marlies. Bogosian, honestly, if the Leafs could get him to a similar deal, I'd bring him back. For depth, why not? You know, I'd love for Bogosian to teach a little bit of the toughness to Timothy Liljegren. Imagine letting Bogosian teach that guy a little bit. I feel like Liljegren's got a little bit of a mean streak in him. You know, some guys, they have like that hidden mean streak. I feel like that would be cool. Yeah, I don't people saying Keefe should get fired are the same people that, like, I don't know. It's insane. I have no idea why. Hello from Windsor. Hey, Windsor. I've been there a lot. Would you give this year's first rounder and last year's first pick for Savard and a solid two-way player? This year's first rounder and last year's. Oh, right. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I would. But like it would have to be like a solid top 6 guy for sure. But no, I get what you're saying. Would you trade for Eichel? No. Because that trade is just too galaxy brain. It wouldn't work. I mean, if that trade went through, I'm sure the Leafs would consider it, but I don't think the money would work for the Leafs. I don't know. Henrik Lundqvist probably wants to play, and he can't. I like Dermott, but I think that he's benefited a little bit more from playing in a bottom pairing. I don't see how he can move any further up the lineup. I think that he's a bottom pairing, really solid bottom pairing guy. I would like them to keep. Amirov as well. I don't know why people are mad at Sheldon Keefe. I mean, the guy has like a stupid winning record since he got here. I would sign Morgan Riley to an extension, but if I know I can trade him and get a ton back for him, and Liljegren and Sandin can step up and everybody else just moves up the ladder, I think I'd rather do that. Because you could get a defenseman in free agency too. Maybe for cheaper, or you trade for a cheaper defenseman that is a more defensive style guy. Has Galchenyuk played with players as good as Tavares and Willie? No, I don't think two good players like that. Yeah, Gary, that's so true. That's so true, man. People keep asking why I trade Morgan Riley, dude. You trade Morgan Riley because I have to people know this. He's terrible defensively. Like the guy can't play defense to save his life. He's amazing offensively. But let's say the Leafs acquire Ekholm, right? Like now, let's say they get Ekholm. Twitter notification. Oh, I thought it could have been a trade. um, if you trade, hold on a second, guys. Abraham, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate that. Worst finals matchup for the Leafs if we make the Cup Finals. I'm thinking like a powerhouse, tough team. Maybe I was thinking like Vegas. Like Vegas just seems like they would just friggin' pound the crap out of Toronto, honestly. Um, the Islanders look pretty good, but they just lost Anders Lee. The Avalanche. I'm just gonna say Vegas because I think that's the first team that had popped up in my head. But thank you very much for the donation, Abraham. I appreciate that big time. Dude, Carolina too. Oh my God, Carolina's good this year. I think Anderson does finish the season with Toronto. Okay, let me my point on Morgan Riley. Let's say you get Ekholm right now. Then it becomes you have Ekholm, TJ Brody, Muzzin Hall. So that's two pairings. Then your bottom pairing could literally be Sandin Liljegren. And then you have Dermott as well. Or you trade him. So you have two solid defensive pairings. Like actually three. There's not a ton of offense there, but boy, is there a lot of defense. And that's what the Leafs need. They can score. Their forwards do the scoring. But if you have guys that play defense, think about that. You trade Morgan Riley, you're definitely keeping Zach Hyman. And you're probably getting a forward with that extra money. So no, I won't be live during the game because of copyright stuff. Like I can't really put the volume up loud or anything. I wouldn't trade Riley for a defenseman now. I would trade for a defenseman, excuse me, like Ekholm, who has another year on his contract. And then you go into the playoffs with a stacked blue line. Forsberg would be unreal, but I think I agree with Steve Dangle when he was saying that you should get a guy that can kill penalties, play a defensive style role, but also put up points, which is kind of rare, but you can find that. And by the way, guys, I love Morgan Riley, but it's just asset management. If you can bring in assets and use assets in different places, you're replacing him with two much cheaper defensemen. Um, What are you talking about? Going live at the end of John Hot Takes Hockey streams so you can get rated to increase your subscribers. Thank you for saying I should have more, but I'm not trying to like take subscribers from anybody. I'm just talking. John again. Oh my goodness. Yo, John, seriously, you really, really, really don't you should keep your money. I appreciate it though. Thank you so much. I seriously, I really appreciate that. If we can't end up trading for a goaltender like Ranta, how would you feel about giving Campbell a shot to take over the starting position? I would definitely give him the shot because you still have Freddie as the backup, and then you have Hutchinson as the third string. And Hutchinson had one bad game. The rest he's been pretty solid, but um, I'd love to have a guy like Ranta, but I would literally if Campbell can stay healthy, the guys love playing for him. He's had a good season. He's been really good in the NHL. Like people don't give him that credit. Even in LA, like those teams were crap and he was still really good. Yeah, if he could stay healthy. Taylor, how's it going? It's been a while. But again, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Love the photo, by the way. That Matthews and Kane battle where they were doing that was amazing. That was a great, great game. Scared me a little bit though because Kane kept scoring. Okay, so Dubas saying his primary discussions were about forwards. Like I don't really think that Dubas is just giving up what he's saying. Like I think people are reading too much into this because in about like he could literally be on the phone right now with a team and looking at a defenseman. Like he just because he said that doesn't mean it's true. Like plus, like guys, you have to remember we're in a pandemic right now. There's a lot of teams that need cash, which means they're trying to trade players that they're paying for, and the Leafs have cash. Not even just cap space, but just money to pay these guys. So the Leafs could be like, take a prospect and a pick because, I mean, you kind of need the money. So we'll pay the guy. You're going to retain some salary, but you're not going to pay the whole salary. We'll take over for you for that. Or we'll get a third team involved, and then you don't have to pay, and neither do we. You know what I mean? Okay, Kapanen just didn't fit in with the Leafs. It sometimes it just takes a change of scenery. Same thing with Mason Marchment. I really like that guy, but it just for some reason it just didn't work with Toronto. Like throughout the system, he just never stuck. I guess I don't know, but you have to remember too. Like it just depends on who you're playing with. Like he could by next year he could be garbage. It happens to everybody. If they have a couple good seasons, 2 or 3 good seasons, then you're like, "Whoa, okay, that wasn't a good trade." But at the same time, like, guys, were we really sitting here saying Mason Marchment was gonna be that good? Like, I don't think so. Like, Mason Marchment was known as being a tough guy. Now he's putting up points. Like, Mason Marchment wasn't known as a guy that was gonna put up a bunch of points. Andreas Janssen is not doing too well from what I've seen. Yeah, chemistry does go a long way in hockey for sure. Jordan, you keep cursing in your messages and it won't show up. But dude, let me just tell you, Freddie has been really bad this year, like really bad. So honestly, I think if Campbell keeps getting hurt, we're in a bad position. Markstrom, yeah, that would have been nice, but too much money. Jamie Alexiak, bottom pairing, yeah, that could work, but the Leafs already have bottom pair experience. They have Bogosian. I want the Leafs to go after a legitimate top 4 guy. Um, Rahul, I'm saying right now, I mean Patrick Kane. Does Thornton have a place on this team? Honestly, I'd rather see him play in and out of the lineup. I don't think that he should be on um one of the top lines. Somebody said I'd rather have Alexiak's sister. Bro, I'm pretty sure she's like really young. John, bro. Oh my. Thank you, man. Seriously. Man, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the love, man. I really do. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Jordan, why is this Jordan guy like, dude, why are you going so crazy, my guy? The Leafs are fine. Like they're doing okay, man. Ryan, how's it going? I don't think Ghost has a place on the Leafs, honestly. I just don't think that deal was ever going to happen. Another power forward? Yeah. Oh, is she's 20? Oh, okay then. I thought she was still young. Marinson's got to go. Guys, he's not even playing. Like, relax. Jake DeBrusk. I mean, he hasn't been very good, but sure. Drew Doughty, not a chance. I love Drew Doughty, always loved him. Way too much money. The LA Kings look like they're playing a little bit better. Um, no, there's no chance Drew Doughty. The money is way too much. John, don't. Oh boy. Who's Simmons fighting tonight? Hopefully nobody, because he's just coming back from a bad wrist injury or arm, whatever it was. Like, dude, the guy just needs to put his ass in front of the net and tip in a goal tonight. That's what he needs to do. He's got to be on that power play and get another one. Dude, I actually loved Roman Polak too, man. That guy was. I was at a game where he took a puck to the face and he just got right back up. I'm like, oh, okay. This guy is actually nuts. Thoughts on Matthews this season? Fantastic. That's a no on the pizza? Bruh, I love pizza. Who doesn't? Dude, I loved Wade Belak too. Yeah. All right. It's been real, guys. I said I wanted to do this more often. Should I keep doing this? Like should I keep doing this? These these streams talking about the Leafs, trade rumors, stuff like that. Like do you guys want me to keep doing stuff like this? Yeah? Okay. I'd like to get it to a point where Jordan says no. Okay. I don't know why you're in here like trashing me, man. I really don't get it. Yeah, I'd love to make this consistent. But yeah, no, I'd love to have guests and I'd like you guys to come into these streams too. Bruh, Dangle doesn't hate me. I hope not. Jordan, it's not funny to be honest with you. All right. Awesome. Yeah, like a call in, like literally like where I can bring you guys up in like Discord or Skype or something like that. So that way where like when I'm live, um I can just bring you guys in. Somebody said don't drink the water. Why can't I drink the water? What happened? What's wrong with my water? Is that too loud? Bro, I can't stay hydrated? What's going on, man? Um yeah, am I Elliot Friedman's son? No, but I love Elliot Friedman. I think the guy's great. He tweeted me once, and that was very cool of him. Um, wait, so what's wrong with the water? Does anybody actually have an answer, like, why I can't drink this water? Water makes me sound weird. Okay. Um, Andy knows this, but he's the golden child of his. Oh, wait a minute. Ryan. Is this the guy I'm thinking of? Wait, hold up. Is this the guy I'm thinking of? Not gonna cap, but you're probably the most unbiased Leaf fan. Oh, I'll take that. Thank you. You have bits of food in it. Bro, there's no food in this. There's literally no food. This is not food. This is water. What? Bro, I just opened this. Okay. Anyways, thank you to the trolls, because just remember, every time you click, guys, this is to you, the people that are trolling the water, everything. You're paying my bills. Think about that. Um Thanks. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna let's enjoy this Leaf game. Let's enjoy some hockey. And yo, imagine if Galchenyuk gets a hat trick. Whew. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate anybody. I'm not no, like, whatever. It's fine. Um let's just go enjoy this game. To everybody in here, thank you so much. To the people, even to the people that for some reason don't like me, enjoy the game. Um let's have fun tonight, and hopefully we can do this again in the near future. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe I don't know. Let's get a W tonight. See you later, Doc. See you later, Alex, Miguel, everybody, Gary, Ryan, whatever, Jay, all these people, even Jordan. All right. See you guys later. Enjoy the game.